The chapter involving Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh has come to an end, as he is signed to become the starting quarterback for the New York Football Giants. This analysis focuses on this significant move, as well as the implications of Wilson's time in Pittsburgh and its effect on the team's future. Does this indicate that Aaron Rodgers is really headed to Pittsburgh? We will examine these questions throughout this conversation. It is essential to stay informed, as such events draw a large audience. Whenever there is relevant news, you can expect timely updates. And if Rodgers decides to join the Steelers soon, there will be a live discussion about this development. Now, let's dive into the details. According to sources, the Giants and Super Bowl champion quarterback Russell Wilson have reached an agreement on a one-year contract worth up to $21 million, with $10.5 million guaranteed. The athlete, who has been selected to the Pro Bowl 10 times, had been in talks with the Giants, Browns, and Steelers, choosing New York, where he won his Super Bowl at MetLife Stadium when the Seahawks defeated the Broncos years ago. This city and stadium hold special significance for Wilson. It is rewarding to see him get new opportunity. Reports suggest that his relationship with the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh deteriorated significantly, and this began to impact his dynamic with the head coach. It became clear that the situation was becoming increasingly challenging. It seems that Russell Wilson is preparing for a fresh start with another team. Information suggests that his relationship with the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh had soured, and that tension appeared to affect his bond with the head coach. It became evident that the Steelers were looking to move on. This contract is highly advantageous for New York, and I predict that Wilson will take the starting quarterback position in the bustling city this season. The question remains whether they will still seek a quarterback for the future, especially if they're interested in Shedeur Sanders with the third overall pick. I believe this is still a possible option for them. We will also keep an eye on what Cleveland decides to do with the second pick, but it seems Wilson will start the season as the Giants' starting quarterback in 2025. Jameis Winston will be his backup, providing two experienced options for the team. We wish Wilson success in this new chapter. Additionally, this development raises questions about Aaron Rodgers. In recent days, fans have been eagerly awaiting his decision. With Minnesota out of the race and the Giants nearly withdrawing from negotiations, Rodgers' options have become clearer. He faces a simple choice: play in Pittsburgh in 2025 or retire, or perhaps wait until the summer for a more attractive opportunity. This possibility is still viable, but if Rodgers wants to commit to a team for next season, it seems the Steelers will be that team. Previous reports this week indicated that those close to the situation believe Rodgers will announce his decision soon. Many have speculated that the Steelers are the favorites. In fact, it was mentioned on a Pittsburgh radio station that there had been contact with Rodgers. Notably, Rodgers visited the team's facilities last week, and all signs point to him becoming the Steelers' next starting quarterback. Now, I want to dive into some of the details of this ongoing situation. Today, it was noted that there were message exchanges regarding a prominent quarterback. Notably, he was at the training facilities last week. All signs suggest that this athlete may become the next starting quarterback for a significant team. I would like to reflect on another quarterback's time with this same organization. I believe the decision to choose this player, leaving another behind, was the right choice considering that both were acquired last year. Even though neither is part of the current roster, it hasn't been long since they were signed. The team truly made a wise choice by signing this quarterback to a reduced veteran's contract, while another organization was offering significant compensation to compete against them in 2024. This athlete has proven his worth, demonstrating that he is still an excellent long-range passer. A coach known for valuing the deep pass, as evidenced by his time with another team, seems to be looking for quarterbacks willing to take risks and throw the ball deep. This suggests a commitment to a more daring aerial style of play. We'll need to wait and see what tactics the team adopts to support the quarterback this year. Personally, I wish him success. I don't think the struggles of the previous year were entirely his fault. Even if he had stayed, I believe the team could have found success. However, it seems that his relationships within the organization have become tense. Now, the team is preparing for a transition to a new phase in the coming days, months, and perhaps even years. If you want to send positive energy to this quarterback in his new team and express gratitude for his time as a starter, feel free to share your thoughts. The situation involving this athlete is unfolding over the weeks, months, and possibly even years to come. If you want to send your well wishes to him and his new team and show appreciation for his time as a starter, feel free to show your support in a neutral way. Before moving on with today's content, I want to highlight an opportunity available where you can acquire new products related to this team at a special discount right now. If you are already considering purchasing an item, this is a great chance to get it at a favorable price. Regarding the decision and the timeline, as there was a lengthy meeting with the team and its coaching staff, it seems they are being cautious in making a well-founded decision. Information suggests that there were in-depth discussions on the subject, and the excitement surrounding the details of this meeting is palpable. Players from this team have been communicating, sharing information about the organization's culture and related issues. There is an effort to be careful in the decision-making process, which likely justifies the extended timeline. However, according to a recent report, the decision seems to be on the verge of being announced, and with the other team officially entering the discussion, the anticipation continues to grow. Currently, King is weighing his options before reaching a final decision, which likely justifies his extended decision-making process. However, a report released earlier this week suggests that Rodgers' choice will be announced soon. With the Giants officially out of the race, it seems that if Rodgers chooses to sign with a team this week, it will be with the Pittsburgh Steelers or possibly no team at all. Therefore, I expect a decision to be made sometime this week, although I cannot predict whether it will be tonight or how quickly things will progress now that the Giants are no longer in the race. Rodgers will follow his own pace. At this point, considering that my primary alternative, Russell Wilson, is no longer available, if the Steelers fail to sign Rodgers and he decides to wait for a more favorable opportunity or retire, I would certainly be quite disappointed. Thus, the Steelers would be left with Mason Rudolph as their starting quarterback, whom I consider to be a mid-tier backup. Furthermore, they may be forced to look for a quarterback in the first round of this year's NFL draft, which I'm not too fond of. I want to see Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, and I've been saying that for weeks, even before the start of free agency, stating that Rodgers was among my top choices for the quarterback position. While I would prefer Matthew Stafford and Geno Smith, Rodgers ranked third on my target list for the position this season, thanks to the considerable advantages he offers, similar to what Russell Wilson brought as a seasoned playoff veteran and Super Bowl champion. I believe Rodgers has qualities that could amplify the contributions Russell Wilson brought to this team last season. The similarities between Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are striking, as both were, at one point, celebrated stars. The decline in their athletic form has had a significant impact, as they no longer can escape the pocket and make those extraordinary plays they once did. Both players now need to secure victories from the pocket. The comparisons highlight that both have experienced a decline from their star status, particularly in terms of athleticism. They can no longer avoid the pocket and create those spectacular plays that define their careers. Currently, both quarterbacks must rely on their pocket skills to succeed at this stage of their NFL careers. Additionally, they are both playoff veterans, each having won a Super Bowl title. Notably, Aaron Rodgers has a slight edge over Russell Wilson in playoff experience by just a few games. However, both still boast exceptional throwing talent. Aaron Rodgers, in particular, displays a quick release and retains the ability to throw accurately to all areas of the field with ease. Last season, Russell demonstrated his ability to make long throws. Both excel at protecting the ball, ranking among the top 10 quarterbacks of all time in terms of interception percentage, with Aaron Rodgers sharing the top spot in this category. This is especially relevant for a coach who prefers a quarterback that minimizes turnovers, a trait that Rodgers exemplifies. They also tend to avoid passes over the middle of the field as a strategy to reduce turnovers. The preference for deep passes is evident, with Aaron Rodgers showing a particular appreciation for deep throws and attempt for significant gains. In Pittsburgh, he would certainly have deep threats to work with. However, what sets Rodgers apart from Russell Wilson are a few key areas, which is why I have advocated for the Steelers to consider Rodgers over Wilson. The difference between them may not be monumental, as both are quite similar in their current playing styles as quarterbacks. However, The first area where Rodgers excels is his ability to release the ball more quickly, resulting in fewer sacks. Last season, his average time to throw was 6 seconds, while Russ ranked 28th in this category. Consequently, Aaron Rodgers had a sack percentage around 6.3 compared to Russ's 8.5. This suggests that the Steelers' offensive strategy could benefit significantly from these distinctions. One of the areas where Aaron Rodgers stands out is his ability to release the ball quickly, resulting in fewer sacks. Last season, his average time to throw was just 6 seconds, while another athlete ranked 28th in this category. As a result, Rodgers had a sack rate of around 6.3, compared to the other player's 8.5. This suggests that the offense would suffer fewer sacks and have less productive plays with Rodgers as the quarterback. Additionally, he demonstrates superior post-snap processing. While the other athlete is efficient in his first read, his smaller stature limits his ability to progress through the middle of the field beyond that first read. In contrast, Rodgers, with his imposing stature and presence in the pocket, can move effectively and explore his options, standing out as one of the most savvy quarterbacks in the league. This significantly relieves the offensive coordinator of the pressure to provide a perfect first read. With the other player, the accuracy of the first read was crucial. Otherwise, the play was doomed to fail. On the other hand, Aaron Rodgers gives the offensive coordinator more freedom, as he can still create positive plays even beyond the initial read. Things aren't progressing as expected. This situation can be interpreted in different ways. One interpretation is that a harsh approach is being applied, while another suggests that there is a concern to hold everyone accountable to ensure they are making the right choices and evolving into a winning football team. At its core, this may be seen as a demand, but the ultimate goal is victory. If some aren't meeting expectations, maybe they need a push. This might be exactly what is needed in the workplace. Interestingly, a famous player took a similar approach. He is often praised for his intense demeanor in motivating his teammates, encouraging them to improve their performance. However, when it comes to the other player, the narrative shifts. Critics often label his confrontational style negatively, tagging him pejoratively. Yet, the intent is simply to ensure accountability and strive for victory. Which alternative should be considered? Should we emulate a player who maintains a purely optimistic perspective even when facing challenges? Personally, I prefer a player who is determined to solve problems, and I believe that is what this athlete would bring to the team. The offense and the work environment truly need someone willing to stand out. A former player had a notable presence, but it seems he wasn't willing to demand that others follow standards. He didn't address one player specifically to emphasize the importance of punctuality in meetings. Instead, he maintained an overly positive attitude, which ultimately led to unfavorable results. As the season went on, the offense began to weaken, and he seemed to lose influence within the team. I don't expect this situation to occur with the previously mentioned player, so the expectation grows for a potential signing that could bring a new starter. If and when this happens, there will be discussions about it here, exploring the implications of such a significant move. Within the work environment, I don't think this would be the situation with the player in question, which generates expectations about the possibility of him signing as the next starter for the team. If this happens, there will be live discussions to share the news. This has certainly been a long saga, and it is expected to come to a conclusion soon. To recap the latest news, a specific player is about to sign a 1-year contract to become the new starter for a particular team, paving the way for another player to sign in the coming days as his successor. When this information is officially confirmed, there will be live debates here. It could be today, tomorrow, or even a week from now. The timing of the decision is still uncertain, but when it happens, the discussions will be crucial to follow. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The buzz around the Pittsburgh Steelers offseason moves is growing louder, and it's not just about their draft picks or free agent signings. Word on the street is that the team might be eyeing a significant upgrade at the quarterback position, and it could come in the form of Baker Mayfield. After a career full of highs and lows, Mayfield, currently with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, has proven that he's more than capable of leading a team when given the right support. Could the Steelers, in their quest for another Super Bowl run, make a bold move to bring him to Pittsburgh? Mayfield's 2023 season with the Buccaneers was marked by flashes of brilliance, leading Tampa to a division title and a playoff victory. He threw for 347 yards and accounted for 3 touchdowns in a standout win against the Eagles. But his inconsistency, like his performance against the Denver Broncos, raises questions about his long-term potential. Still, his ability to bounce back, such as when he threw for 325 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Saints, shows that he's not afraid of a challenge. In Pittsburgh, a team known for its rugged style and strong defense, Mayfield could be the spark they need to power through their next season. But why would the Steelers even consider Mayfield? The answer lies in their current quarterback situation. While Kenny Pickett has shown promise, the Steelers are looking for a more dynamic option to lead their offense. Mayfield's potential to elevate his game under the right conditions might be exactly what Pittsburgh is searching for. If the Steelers believe they can refine his game and provide him with the weapons he needs, like the top-tier receivers they already have, Mayfield could thrive in the Steel City. For Mayfield, a move to Pittsburgh would present an intriguing opportunity. After bouncing around with the Browns, Panthers, and Rams, Mayfield's next step will be critical in shaping the future of his career. Pittsburgh's solid offensive line and powerhouse defense might be the perfect environment for him to regain his confidence and consistency. It's a chance to prove that he's not just a flash in the pan, but a quarterback capable of leading a storied franchise back to glory. As the Steelers look to bolster their roster, adding a seasoned quarterback like Mayfield would signal their commitment to returning to the top of the NFL. Whether it's a short-term fix or a long-term solution, all eyes will be on Pittsburgh in the coming weeks to see if this high-profile move becomes a reality. For Mayfield, it could be the fresh start he's been waiting for, and for Steelers fans, it might be the jolt their offense desperately needs. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.